Oh man, here we are. We are back from the last chapter, and oh my goodness, 1132. We got a bit of several warnings from a explorer. Now, like I said in the last video, last chapter, he warned us about potential dangers. What are those dangers? Well, we don't know for sure what those dangers. But once we find out what those dangers is, will Luffy be able to confront is the main question. Also, we also got Loki to worry about too. So will Luffy fulfill that promise to Loki, or will he spill the beans and mess it up for him and Loki? Anyways, One Piece chapter 1133 titled Praise. And let's go ahead and jump right in because I am very interested in this chapter. And it starts off from 22 years ago, as we all know what did happen, of Ohara being bombarded with the Buster Call, which we all should know the backstory of Robin, of Nico Robin. And we all know how her story ended, which ended with a Buster Call to the island, and somehow she escaped. Well, not somehow, but she escaped. Now place a bounty, a big bounty, I should say, for I think it was a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl known as the Devil Child. It starts off as distorted truth, and one of the civilians or ships per se says the civilian evacuation ship suddenly burst into flames. So yeah, that happened. And one person asked what happened to Ohara, and basically a blanket kind of hid or was hiding the truth. One of the admirals, I would say, not admirals, but one of the Marines, the mortifying screams I heard from that inferno is something I'll never forget. And Nico Robin was responsible. Okay, so the civilian ship that escaped, remember, that civilian ship is what Kainu basically said, okay, destroy that ship that's leaving Ohara. No one leaves alive. Government's orders. So yeah, so Akainu was basically in charge of blasting that ship. So I don't think Robin kind of caused that civilian ship to burst in flames that left the island Ohara to escape. I think Akainu told them to shoot down or sink that ship, that civilian ship that's leaving the island. And remember, the government gave specific orders to Akainu. Destroy that island, Buster called the hell out of it. And guess what he did? He went through and Buster called Robin's island. So, and one of the Marines says, oh yeah, to think she sank all those warships too. She's a devil masquerading as an 8-year-old. Oh, so it was an 8. So, Nico Robin was 8 years old when this happened. By the way, at the same time, while she was on the island, she also ate a devil fruit too. There you go. So that kind of, in my opinion, plays into the Devil Child, basically. Devil masquerading as a 8-year-old. Though, wouldn't an 8-year-old know how to use her? That's a good question. Ooh, that's a good question. I'll wait till the end. Anyway, back to the government. We cannot let the world know the full details. Blanket. The brutal incident will traumatize children everywhere. If you see her, just report it. Do not approach. And back to somewhere else across the world. That fugitive is on this island. Hold that thought. I saw her. She had the eyes of a stone cold killer. Now this was a random old lady that I think Robin went after she escaped. She went to a island per se and say, well, oh shit, this. Now to the other panel, this is so trash. Oda, why are you doing this? Robin. This is a sad backstory. I don't know where the place is. Man. Okay, she has a scholarly intellect and lacks any trace of empathy. You see this panel, and Robin is just at somewhere in the back alley with a dog eating scraps, I guess. And wanted posters for Nico Robin, 79 million berry bounty on her head. And remember, that's the first bounty that stuck with her. Bounty didn't change ever since he met Luffy too. So, or joined up with Luffy. So keep in mind about that bounty. It didn't change after Luffy, after she joined Luffy. It did it. by the way. It stayed the same after, I will say, 2 years. I think 2 years, 2.5 years. Out. Okay. Moving on. And you just see all these bounty hunters that don't hold back just because she looks young. And now that Robin, next panel shows, now that Robin has now become, let's just say, well known and has a a big bounty on her head. Mind you, she has a devil fruit, so I don't know how full extent she has that devil fruit, or how well known she can use it. But people are saying she has a mysterious power. Hurry and catch her, basically. One of the civilians. Now, one of the mothers holding the baby said, well, I can't go to sleep knowing she's out there trying to kill us. And you just see these horrible people going out and finding her, plus the bounty hunters, and you just see Robin just hiding away in a corner somewhere while she's listening to this BS. I mean, even this is, it's horrible to see. And now Robin young Robin is having a flashback to her mother saying these two last words, Robin, live. And you cut to the next panel is Saul giving Robin some, encouragement. Listen carefully, Robin. You're all alone right now. But someday, without a doubt, you will find true friends. And what did she find along the way? After the Alabasta art? The Straw Hat Crew. And then, Alabasta art kind of made that friendship tighter, even tighter. So, yes. And now, but Soul, I'm so scared of everyone. Now, when things are unbearable, remember what I taught you. And just cuts to the next panel too. Robin holding it looks like she's in ragged. I want you guys to picture this. Out of everyone that has a backstory. Tragic is this. What do you guys rank this Robin's backstory? Because we haven't. Remember, we only got have we done Robin's backstory yet? Besides this one, besides this chapter? If this was like the first layer of Robin's backstory, this whole chapter is basically the rest of the backstory, basically. So yeah, this is the rest of Robin's backstory of what she did after the O'Hara incident on that island, which is kind of interesting too if you look at while reading this chapter. Find it interesting how from what we got like in anime and manga too, because this showed an pretty back and forth, but in the manga anime and manga we got like half of this right here. This is basically the finished product or the complete story, or the missing half. There we go. The missing half of Robin's story, what she did after incident when she was 8 years old by herself, journeying around while having that big ass bounty on her head, which that's 79 million berry bounty. You could have made that, and I get it, she's a scholar on top of that too. That's you could have made that. I'm not trying to say this, but you could have made that like, if she was really a threat. So if you would have made her a real threat, you could have made it like 100 million berry bounty, 179 million berry bounty to capitalize on that, the 179 million berry. I think she would be more of a threat because of the knowledge she's possessed and what she knows, and she can read poneglyphs and reveal secrets of the government. This basically fuck the whole junction of the government, make them sweat. So yeah, or make them real blush with all the secret skeletons in the closet. Anyways, now Robin's holding a newspaper and laugh. She remember what I taught you. Laugh like this. And Robin's looking at the map and says it's gone. And then somebody grabs her behind, man grabs her on the shoulder and said, what are you? And she leaves a trail of thefts and murder wherever she goes. Now this is just somewhere else. Funny enough, when she looked up this map, O'Hara's not on the map no more, unfortunately. So she says it's gone. Now I'm gonna wait this, I'm gonna say this at the end chapter. It cuts to the next panel. Now, once her identity was found out, she kind of boom dashed out, made a beeline out of there. Now it says, I hear she uses her childlike appearance to lure poor souls in, only to slit their throats as they sleep. Oh man, this is so sad. No, this is so sad. I mean, it is so sad just to look at this. I mean, Oda, what the hell? Again, I'm gonna wait. This is so sad. So that's insane, as somebody else says. That little shit should go snuff it. And you just got all these bad people talking about Robin, this 8-year-old girl that's eating a devil fruit, mind you, a devil fruit, and escape O'Hara. And the way that they spun it is like she did all this bad shit, which she admits not doing. So who's the real people spinning this? I want to block. Anyways, that was the end of Robin's backstory. I think we now got the full scope of what happened to Robin's or what happened to Robin after she escaped O'Hara in the Buster Call, third Buster Call. So back to the present day, and now it's just over to now where the Straw Hats are in Elbath, and they have now made it to the middle layer. We'll say, I think it's so I would say they made it to the sun, which is the middle part where they're supposed to go. And Dory says drop the anchor, and now they made it onto their home basically, and everybody's getting off, which, to be fair, and everybody is just stunned at what's of the buildings and everything. Luffy and Usopp are now happy as hell because now they made it on Elbath. 2 claps. And now Bonnie and Robin are also ecstatic and just in awe of the Giants' houses and everything and how they lay it out. And then you got the Sunny too coming along too. That's on the giant warrior pirate ship. And everybody's just brought together now. Now it's official. You got the Dorian Bargy and their pirate crew, plus the new giant warrior pirates that's headed by their captain Haruji, which, there you go. And then you got Rodo just tied up and beaten to half the death of his life. So he deserves everything that's got into him. Now, Dr. Vankpla says this too. The climate here on Elbath is perfect for all of this. Island and sea clouds, soluble bubbles, rainbows, and hover. Now, she says, look at all the technology they have coexisting here. Where everybody's at is the southwest of the western village. So it's still in the middle layer, which is the sun. Remember, there's the dead, or how do I say it? Helheim, which is the dead part. The sun part is in the middle, and then heaven is the top part. The heaven part, I would say, is where royalty live. Don't know if you want to know what's up there and who's up, but I got a lot of stuff to speculate. Now, you just see Rhoda just tied up there in the background. Now, you got everybody partying, enjoying themselves, and you just got a bunch of people celebrating. Now, everybody couldn't wait to get to the tavern and party, but first we got a reunion, and Luffy was about to go head into the tavern until Nami grabbed him and said, yeah, no, not yet, we still got some business here. And she said, all right, let's go get it. And we said, hold it, we still got something else to do. This is Robin's reunion. And once a random giant comes along and said, this is bad, it's Mr. Soul. And then Luffy said, seriously, we just came just to see him. This is a reunion, 22 years in the make it. He just collapsed. Chopper said, well, I'm a doctor and I can examine him, so there's no problem. Robin sees Soul laying there, which we all know how that went, how this scene plays out. And Robin says, well, how silly. And she just said, well, I mean, this is how it's okay. He's not feeling ill. He didn't fail or fall. He'll just be fine. There's nothing to be over concerned about. And Robin walks over to Soul, and all of a sudden, Soul basically he almost tries to scare Robin. And Soul said, well, did I get you? Basically. And Soul just remember 8-year-old Robin just blank face. And So it's like, well, shit, I guess not. What else she supposed to do? And he says, Robin, I know you're not a kid anymore. Sorry, I wasn't sure how to break the ice after all this time. Robin says, well, you still have the same funny flag. And here's a reunion. Yup, it's still ridiculous as it was coming face to face, and he gets picks Robin up in his hand and says, "Well, let me get a good look at your face." And the title of Saul D. Law, or Saul, and it says former Navy Vice Admiral Robin Savior. So I'm guessing 22 years ago, Saul, I guess Akiji froze Saul, I believe, as I remember. Don't know if he defrosts Saul, but if you look at his leg, I don't know if he had that to begin with too. So did he had a peg leg before? I think that happened during the O'Hara incident. Akiji froze. Don't know if that's, I'm gonna have to double check. Anyways, Soul says she looks just like you look like just like your mother. And Robin says, like, mother? He says, yeah. And Robin remembers something her mother said. We cannot give up on the future. On the future you will live. You'll understand something. You have kind eyes just like her, as Saul says. And Saul brings up, did you hear Vegapunk's broadcast, Robin? And I was there when it happened, so I couldn't hear much, but I read the coverage of it in the paper. And she says, I see. And they remember what Vegapunk said back on Egghead. History is written by the victor. And those words were Ahara's legacy. They were supposed to have been buried in history, left to vanish without anyone hearing. And yet the voices of the scholars of O'Hara here passed on. Vegapunk was a true scientist. He refused to preach about right and wrong, but in the end, he still risked his life to tell everyone. O'Hara and Vegapunk took a huge leap of faith, which I would have to agree, because if this was hypothetically speaking, if this spun out of control and it did not get this message out, we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we? Yep. Okay, I'm sure their sacrifice will shape the future, as Saul would say. And so Robin agrees, and she touches Saul's old scar. And yours too, does it hurt? And Saul says, well, nah, I'm harder to kill than I thought. When I came to, I found myself drowning in the ocean. The ice must have melted in that inferno and swept to the water. It was a while later when I found out you survived too. All those reports really ticked me off. So that is what happened. So if you don't remember, Soul was betraying the Marine, betrayed Marine. So I'm guessing when Akiji was trying to froze Soul was about to freeze Robin. I guess you could say Akiji let her live and say, all right, you might as well get out of here, kid, because me doing this doesn't sit right. Shoot, and don't worry, I'll pretend I don't see you. And I guess Akiji left Soul there for a while, and the sea kind of swept him out, and I guess he unfrozen as Soul was explaining. Inferno, ocean, and swept him into the water, and boom, survived. And then when he woke back up, well, kind of find out he wasn't too happy, if you know what I mean. Anyways, they said such awful things about you, as Soul. Robin kind of looked down and was like, yeah, I know, but basically. And Robin says, hey, Saul, and Soul says, right, of course I am. A kid like you against the whole wide world. And Soul cries, said, you did great staying alive, Rob. 22 long years. Thank you for being such a survivor. I'm so glad we're able to meet this time. You just see the panel, and everybody else, the Straw Hat crew, is watching it. And Robin remembers, Professor, Mom, Saul, why am I the one who has to live? I can't stand it. I want to die. And you just see a little panel of Robin, tears on the up, and Robin start going down. And they both start crying. I gotta admit, Robin had a lot of pent up emotions, because Soul's alive. Her mom, and well, who else? Clover, and Soul. She thought she lost all three of them. However, one did survive. Saul was alive. And I gotta say, Robin, she earned this. She did, really did. And you gotta think, we only saw Robin vent out her emotions, not since or fully not like vent her emotions not since it's been a while since Water 7 or Annie's Lobby. There we go. Water 7 and 80's Lobby. I'm gonna cut those plays. But anyways, since Eddie's Lobby, she hasn't like fully let out her emotions. So this right here, this chapter kind of helps Robin now fully release her emotions, which that's a good thing. Now everybody's watching this crying too, and it's a good scene and also a sad scene because that's a reunion. And Luffy smiles, is like, yeah, it's good to see her meet up with Saul again. A tearful reunion. Color spread next issue. Chapter and 1133 end. And now One Piece will return December the 23rd, that's a Monday. Else do that. But chapter and final thoughts on this chapter, by the way. So let's get to it. So I had some fun. So after all this time, and I did say wait, but you have all these people. I mean, like I said, we got only Robin's half the story, and that was during the O'Hara incident, or her backstory, her childhood, right up to the O'Hara incident. Now we got the full contents or context, what did happen after she went and left that island. So remember she ate, like I said before, this for a fourth time saying this, she ate a devil fruit, by the way. I'm pretty sure she had the resources to survive, and she was carrying a book bag and a rag coat around to hide her identity so nobody would recognize. Now, I do want to say this too, because this also was because 79 million berry bounty is kind of low, in my opinion, if she was much of that threat. Now, you could say if she was much of a threat and out of spite, she could have done her research to the voice and find a poneglyph, and spread that word. And I mean, you got Crocodile, right? Mr. Zero and Miss All Sunday. Those two from Baroque. Now, she could have told Crocodile, say, hey, I know you're 1 to 7 warlord, but I need your help. And in return, if I help you, you help me. I get you what you. Now that, I would say that would deserve a 179 million berry bounty. Boom, off the rip, right there. Because you left her to go to X, Y, and Z, right? You did that. And then, I mean, it's just my opinion that 79 million berry bounty is like, really? For someone that's a child eating a devil fruit, on the contrary, they didn't know she ate a devil fruit. So, no, they did say she has mysterious power. So everybody was like, okay, so just catch her. Let's just catch her. No, you don't know what she can do if she has mysterious power. So remember, she ate the Hana fruit, flower fruit. That was this backstory. Like I said, this whole backstory. I mean, we got the full context. Like, now we got the rest of her back. What happened? I mean, the government, like I said, Clover kind of fucked up. I'm not going to just going to put that out there. He kind of messed up of not like kind of like telling the 5 elders and like, oh yeah, how about we discover this poneglyph and all this and that. And Samurai Gani's like, did you just say you were going to do X, Y, and Z and reveal the voice entry? Stop that research right now. Oh, you won't? Okay. Pick up the other phone. Say, all right, Kainu, bust the car the hell out of that island. Bring a Kizaru with you too. Not Kizaru, but Akiji with you. Over and out. And guess what happened? Boom. Now, if Robin escaped, then yeah, I mean, 79 million berry bounty, just my opinion, is a little bit but if they boosted her, if she was really a threat, the world government or perchance the 5 elders would have just said, yeah, she's too much of a threat. Because what if she just came back and spin the block on us and just sit and just out of nowhere just unearth this legendary weapon, one of the 3 weapons of mass destruction. Well, she did that, right? And revealed the poneglyph too, and she can read poneglyph. So, oh man, well, she went to Big Morgan's. Now that deserves a boost to one in the range of 200 million or 100 million, in my opinion, because she got the secrets that even the Gorsei might find kind of unpleasant and scary in the boots. But if you like this chapter, this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below if you think that Robin deserves if she was a much of a threat back then. Does 79 million berry bounty does she deserve that? As I can say, like, it's more of like she deserves it, don't deserve it. She doesn't deserve a bounty at all. But does she deserve a bounty of 1 million berry bounty? The same thing that Luffy got if she was a major threat to the government. You know what I'm saying? Thank you again, and see you next adventure. Laters.